Oh, Gisela. Not late. In the Gold Prayer Book, please turn to page 34, and we'll chant the Shakyamuni Buddha's mantra 3 times. If you have the white binder, it's on the page titled Kadampa Center Prayers. Taya ta om mune mune maha munaye soha. Taya ta om mune mune maha munaye soha. Taya ta om mune mune maha munaye soha. Now for the Medicine Buddha stanza and mantra, for those with the white binder, please look at the blue sheet. Bhagawan with equal compassion for all, whose name when merely heard dispels the suffering of the lower realms, dispeller of disease and the 3 poisons, I prostrate to Medicine Buddha, lapis light. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha. Now let's read the 4 measurables 3 times in English. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends and hatred for enemies. Now if you turn the page to 37, at the bottom there are 2 mantras. So let's chant Chenrezig's mantra 8 times. That's the Buddha of great compassion, and Green Tara's mantra 7 times, and she's the deity of enlightened activity. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Om Tare Tu Re So Ha. 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 Thank you. The children are welcome to go to their classrooms.
Good morning. Good morning. Maybe short meditations. Short meditation. Please, would you mind to take one moment to introduce yourself?
Sunday tea afterwards?
After I think our meeting, one meeting.
Oh, you have a meeting?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I will stay.
You'll stay?
Yeah, one meeting. Well, thank you very much for. Sorry to interrupt your wonderful conversations. Few things. mm, the meditations. So many people, showing interest into meditations. So just want to share. Just want to share with you the purpose. The purpose of meditations. What is happening? What is happening in our life? What is happening in our life? Or our in our existence? There's actions, of verbal action, physical action, mental actions. There's no three types of actions. Sometimes called three drawers. Three drawers. So those actions then is like powered by thought, our thought. Leda nimo so. Thought beyond the action is not all the thought beyond the action is something healthy or good or positive. Thought, every action's produced by thought. Though within the thought, some of them are unhealthy or negative thought. So then these actions and the thought behind the action is like wild wave, wild wave. Then create this, kind of produce those wild wave of action and thought. Can you imagine how many of them, Then create this, three types of problems. Three types of problems. Then the three types of problem is considered as like crocodile, alligator, or crocodile. Which one is more scary? Which one is crocodile is more scary? So it creates the three types of problems. Problem change. Then you could say problem, such as like physical pain, mental pain, all of that. It's like problem change, So the problems, that is very much related to our aggregate, this aggregate, five aggregates. aging, death, sicknesses, all of that, related to the aggregate. Aging, death, sicknesses, nobody can avoid it because it comes with the package. It's part of the package. There's nothing much you can do. So then, on top of that, there's like change. Change. So then, pain, then change, all of that. The produced by, according to Buddhism, is produced by, this wild wave of thought and actions. Not positive action or positive thought. There's negative thought and negative actions. That's what is. Those three types of like problems created by those action and thought, and they are like not calm. It's like wild wave. So therefore, meditation is important. So meditation now, the purpose of meditations, So just want to share with my friends here. The purpose of meditation is to liberate, to liberate yourself from disturbing thought. Less negative thought, life will be better off. Life will be better off. More negative thought, no matter where you live, what you possess, what kind of education you have, what kind of title you possess, then life is going to be difficult. Life is going to be difficult. From newborn child all the way to the President of the United States. So more negative thought, life is going to be difficult, equally difficult, from newborn child all the way to President of the United States. Less negative thought, life is going to be better off. So therefore, it's very, very important to understand the purpose of meditation is to reduce, minimize, subdue disturbing thought. That's the power of meditation. Gom top nyumuchua. Gom meditation top purpose of power. Nyumong afflicted mind. Chua less. See, so that's the purpose of meditation. So what kind of meditation you do, so you need to remember, including myself, need to remember the purpose, is to that's the purpose, okay, just want to share that with you. So then, as I mentioned last Sunday, our existence is called samsara. Samsara, very much influenced by action and thought. Very much influenced by action and thought. When you went beyond samsara, then your life is not very much influenced by action and thought, because thought is pretty much positive. So then actions is the result of the thought. Pretty much positive. So then what we call liberations, moksha. So then here it's called samsara. Everybody, no matter how we look, who we are, what we believe, if you are part of samsara, so then your life is very much influenced by these three types of alligators. Three types of alligators. So need to understand that. So need to accept the reality that life is not going to be happy all the time. So then, the Rolling Stone clearly stated, I can get no satisfactions. No matter what you do. So like smelling something, eating something, looking at something, listening to something, need to understand there will be a challenge. If you really don't like that, what you need to do, what we need to do, liberate, free ourselves for good. How you do? Minimize disturbing thought. That's how you do. It's easy? It's not easy. But there's no alternative. There's no alternative. So, other hand, life. Last Sunday we discussed here, based on the questions that had been put on my table, we discussed some of the questions, so then what do you call, like self-hatred, you hate you hate yourself, self-hatred. So then according to Buddhism, life is precious. precious, fragile, precious, fragile, unpredictable, unpredictable, yeah. Don't know when it'll end, there's no clue. But we have this idea, or we'll be here forever. There's mistaken concept, not just mistaken, very mistaken concept. That concept tricks you to, like they believe, even the very last moment, believing still you're going to be there, So precious, fragile, unpredictable. So therefore, every day, how you say, every day is opportunity, or you could say is a gift, opportunity, So past is past. Mother Teresa says, not just Mother Teresa, many scholars all said, past is past, there's nothing much you can do. It's all the past. Future is not here. What you have is present. So need to focus on the present. So then, everything that we experience, in my case, lasts almost like more than 40 years. Everything you experience, good or bad, it becomes like dream. So Shantideva said in Guide to Buddhist Way of Life. So this book has been written around 11th century. 11th century? 9th centuries. This book is written in 8th century or 9th century, I don't know. So somewhere there, in that book it says, whatever we experience, whether it's a positive or negative, it just become mere memory. It just become mere memory. Sorry. Milam nyamso nyowa shinsa, likewise dream. Milam nyamso nyowa shin, milam dream. Nyom is experience, experience in the dream, whether it's a positive or negative, chased by elephant, not able to run, all the food, how you say, kind of locked, can't run, how you say, frozen, when you did you ever chased by elephant? I was chased by a group of yak. Can you imagine? I was chased by a group of yak, Tibetan bull animals, called yak, not long hair. Usually, in my hometown, we have many of them in Tibet, of course. So can you imagine that I was chased by a group of yak in America? In Charlottesville, North Carolina, there's one guy, the very rich American guy, he owns yaks, in Taos, in Virginia, there's farm. I've been doing White Tara retreat there, White Tara retreat. So shut up, one of the Tibetan gentlemen, his elder brother, his brother is helping me, to taking care of my food. So I was doing retreat, 4 sessions a day. So in that farm, there's yak, group of yak. In Tibet, what happens, you are very close to yak because you feed them all the time. You touch them, you separate baby and the mother to get milk. And here, everything is done by machines. You never touch them, you just throw food there, they have no interaction with the human. I got so excited, to not just me, every Tibetan people, when they see yak, they go so excited. They get very excited. So and that year, so center give me one camera. Center, Kadamba Center give me as a gift one camera. Never used camera in my life. Got so excited, So then the Tibetan man, he wants to feed them by hand. So there's one American guy, he said, oh, it's not a very good idea. And he said, no, no, no. And he insists he's going to feed them with his hand. And then we kind of agree. So I said, okay. I wear my rope and bring the camera. So I thought maybe I'll take some fair photos, while he's feeding the animals. So we all, three of we went there inside all the yak, they get together. They kind of group them. They get together. They look at kind of like what is happening. So they all grew up in the one small hill up there. So he has like a bunch of grass in his hand. And he's going towards the yak. I was behind him trying to take a photo. All of a sudden, because they wear normal clothes. So yak is focusing on me because because of my robe. All of a sudden, the whole yak, they run towards me. I just ran. Probably like 30 seconds or maybe a minute, my mind and body separated. I ran. So, no bodhicitta. No compassion, nothing. Because, there are three people inside. Not thinking about them, I'm just running off my life. And I fell down. I thought, oh, now that's it. It's over now. I just lay there, so that nothing happened. I look back. Somehow, they decide to go back. So they didn't do anything. They just let me. So then I started worrying about my camera. So like that, oh, so chased by, all of that, in the dream, in the dream, that sometimes you have dream. Milam nyamsu nyowashi is my point here. In the dream, all kinds of things happen. Positive things. You get excited, then you get kind of like sad, and all kinds of things. When you wake up, it's just memory. It's just memory. Milam nyamsu nyowashi ngubo khanda khangchebas. Whatever we do, smell, touch, taste, see, feel, hear, all of that. When you awake, it's like dream. Milam nyamsu nyowashi ngubo khanda khangchebas. Tete tembe it just become mere memory. It's just memory. Deva tamche tomi just. All the past, you are not going to see them. It's all the past. You are not going to see them again. It's past. It just become mere memory. So, what the stanza, what Shantideva was trying to teach us, is like everything is impermanent. Everything change. Everything change. It's so vivid, it now just become memories. Everything change. Deva tamje tomi ju. So just want to share that with you. So we don't know how much time we have on this planet, on this earth. We don't know. In reality, we don't know how much time we have. So we should not should not waste to being miserable. Waste to being miserable. We do have power to change. I say, we need, how you say, in America, how you say, you need guts to change, guts to change. So every day, so yesterday is past, now today, when you wake up, so that's what we should think. Life is precious, fragile, unpredictable, So then, make the best out of this precious life. Make the best out of this precious life. So how you do? Think something good, think something positive. So some people heavily rely on reciting prayers and some people read a book, or some people meditate, so do review meditation. So based on these three things, life is precious, fragile, unpredictable. Therefore, get get the best out of it. Get the best out of it. You understand? My English is now not getting better; it's getting worse. No, yeah. So then, after there's 3 or 4 questions, I'll read. If you don't mind, I'll read this question. So, so the first question is kind of the difficult one, but it says, sometimes I think your teaching is that emptiness is the idea that everything is illusions. I said everything's like illusion, not illusion. Everything's like illusions. It's very important to have word like here. It's like illusion, not illusions. Answer that ignorance is the belief. Ignorance is the belief in a true reality. So, but then also you say that there is a true truth. I'm confused. So I sympathize with you. I'm also confused too. So I'm not also free from this confusion. So you are talking about emptiness, and the most difficult subject in Buddhist philosophy. Emptiness. So much been said about emptiness, but very little gets into the deep down here. If you are very interested about meditation on emptiness, so first, whoever asks questions, first what you should do, my suggestion will be, that's called 4-point analysis. 4-point analysis. So, among those 4-point analysis, first one is to identify the called Gagja. Then please read 4-point analysis. So I'm happy to meet you one-on-one after the class here at the table. So then we will have further discussions. So the first one, Gajang, what happens? So much, books have been written about this. So much research has been done. So when you say I, there's everything began from there. I. So first you become attached to I. First you become attached to yourself. I. So then from there, dagi dishi. Then from there, then my table, my house, my friend, my family, my community, my country. Then all of that, rise. So then that create kind of like cycles. Then it goes round and round. It never ends. It goes round and round. When you go to a remote part of Nepal, so then you see there's some farmer, they use this wheel. And there's many small boxes attached to the wheel. That's how they get water into the rice field. Then it's like cycle of life goes like this, like that. It never ends. It's called Sechungi Jumo. It's called Sechungi Jumo in Tibetan. It's like so who said that? They said, Chantakriti, the Indian master, in the entering into the middle way, the text he's composed called Entering into the Middle Way. In that text, Tambo Ngashe Dala Shenjuji. First you become attached to yourself, so then you become attached to then mind, all of them goes on and on. So then that create the cycles. They create the kind of their wheels that goes round and round. So the first, whenever we say I, how you define self, how we define self. Maybe self that you are so, how you say, uptight or so clinking, maybe that self doesn't exist. Maybe that self doesn't exist. It's just maybe there's something there, out of something there, but 99% is projected. So I'm not happy, but we don't bother to analyze, we just go with that, So when you say I, then you pause, then you analyze what is that? How you, if you feel like solid, absolute, inherent, that's mistake. That is mistake. That is ignorance. That is mistake. It's not the body. It's not the aggregate. It's not the body. It's not the air you breathe. It's not the liquid inside the body. Kebu sami chuma is kebu, being is not solid part of the body. Like that include teeth, bone, nails. It's not the cell. It's not the liquid. Chumai is not the liquid. Memi is not the heat inside the body. Lumi is not the oxygen we breathe. It's not the cell. Chibusami chumai memi lumi namai. Memi lumi chibusami chumai memi lumi. It's not the space within the body. It's not that. It's not the consciousness. So then what is it? What is it? What is it? So you go through the training, the meditation. So that's the beginning. That's how meditation on emptiness began with the self. So then out of there, so everything that is like, if you see objects as something absolute, inherent, then there's a problem. It's not like that. It's just call. It's call. Somebody call this prayer wheel. So then when you see prayer wheel. It's not like piece of wood become prayer wheel by itself. Somebody called. I was called. When I was born, I was nothing. Nothing means nobody. Then my parents called me Gelek, so then I become Gelek. So then when I finish my study in monastery, then I call Geshe, become title. Then I become Geshe Gelek. So then when I came here, so then I become resident teacher of Kadamba Center. So before that, just everything is just call, it's just label. So now you say merely label. And nothing from its own side, it's just label. And then top of that, we project, then it becomes very serious. Everything becomes serious. Oh, so serious, So everything becomes so serious. So we project it. Particularly, especially when we get upset, angry, so the object, then, His Holiness said, some scientists, so somewhere from America, scientists told His Holiness, when we get angry, so 99% of the on object is projected. Can you imagine that out of 100%, just 1% that then all of this projected? So now here, emptiness is the truth, ultimate truth. So now how you define that? Now I'll briefly say something, but it may not going to make much sense. But I'm going to say anyway. So, the way it appears, everything, self, everything, self and everything, the way it appears, the way it exists is different. That's called conventional truth. Conventional truth. The way it appears as something inherent, solid, absolute, but that's not how it exists. It exists based on mere label. But we don't understand that. That's conventional truth. Ultimate truth, the way it appears, the way it exists is the same. That's called ultimate truth, true truth, emptiness. Emptiness. That's all I can say about emptiness. So now you see, I'm also confused too. See, it's not easy. So please, you read about 4-point analysis, okay? So then we will sit one-on-one, so that we can go through that, 4-point analysis. That's how you meditate on emptiness, based on 4-point analysis. So then you go through that. So that's how to meditate on emptiness. Then that's how to understand the merely level self. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. It's merely level self. So the second one, in Buddhist arts, what does the white elephant means? So, Yum Jumal Hanzi, so Shakyamuni Buddha's mother, in Sanskrit, Queen Maya, I think Queen Maya, that's probably the name of the Queen Maya, Jumal Hanzi. So, says Jumal Hanzi is like beautiful as an angel. Beautiful as an angel. That's Jumal Hanzi. So before Buddha was born, she dreams about this six trust, white elephant. Also, elephant symbolizes power, steadiness, power. White power symbolizes purities, purity. So here, this is called kata. See, the white scrap. It has now. It also had a lot of this also evolved, a lot of evolution. When I was in monastery, so you don't have this kata. So kata that you have now, you don't see them anymore. So this was called kata. Whenever you see important person or your friend or whatever, when you greet, wedding ceremony, any kind of special occasions, and before you say anything, you just offer that. What that signifies that your intention is pure as white. There's nothing more. So you offer that, then the person who is receiving kind of sees that, as your intention is pure, is white. There's nothing like contaminated, Then after that you talk, called kata. Okay? So white symbolizes purity. So, and same in the Buddhist art, whenever you see the white color, it symbolizes purity or kind of symbolize purification. Purifications symbolize that. Then, what is the difference between knowledge and wisdom? What's the difference between knowledge and wisdom? So, as I said, the wisdom, generally speaking, the definition of wisdom is mind that's capable to distinguish between positive and negative. That is wisdom. Temba miba dumba things the share up to the what we call 5 omnipresent mental factors. Every thought, every primary thought, not every thought, every primary thought, main thought comes with these 5 mental factors. Attentions, then upper wisdoms, able to distinguish between positive and negative. So, what is the difference between knowledge and wisdom? I'm asking you. Please say something. What is different? What's the difference between wisdom and knowledge? Yeah.
I may have knowledge of something, or I've read something, or, intellectually I get it, but if I'm not practicing it, and gaining experience with that idea, then I don't develop wisdom. It just stays in my head as, oh, that's a nice concept.
So is the order between wisdom and knowledge? If there's order.
I think knowledge becomes wisdom if you practice what you've learned. Does that make sense?
Wisdom is the result.
Is the result,
Yeah.
yes.
So then
Yeah.
we both agree. So yeah, that's what I thought. Wisdom is the byproduct of knowledge. Yeah.
I think that knowledge is information that you acquired from anything that you do, you see, hear, smell, your world in which you are, while wisdom is the way that you apply what you know to have a better life, to do good things. In other words, to apply it in a positive manner. So information, you gather information. I mean, knowledge is information, while wisdom is the way you use it for a positive, in a positive way.
What is the general definition of wisdom? What's the general definition of wisdom? How you define in Buddhist philosophy? Every word we study based on the definitions.
So my understanding is that wisdom is awareness of, and knowledge in that aspect. And knowledge in that aspect would be an intellectual property, like seeing something and labeling it, or having an understanding in your mind. So wisdom is awareness of that, awareness of the fact that you're labeling it, awareness of the fact that you're understanding your mind. That's just what comes to my mind.
Awareness of the object, or awareness of positive or negative, or
so ultimately, like awareness of being able to see and observe your knowledge, an understanding that it's both limited and it's I think it's beyond my ability to explain it.
Very good, wonderful, yeah.
What's my understanding from background and whatnot, and just thinking, is that we have data, and we have information, and then we have knowledge, and then we have wisdom. And in the web of interdependence that we have in the world, each level takes us a broader perspective of that web. So data is just a point. Information, we begin to put more points together. With knowledge, we've expanded that web of understanding. And with wisdom, we're able to see even a greater area, even more of the web, and how things are interdependent.
Very good, wonderful. So, yeah.
Is wisdom just simply not simply, but the knowing how things exist? So that's the simple party line, right? So if we know how things exist, we have wisdom, and that takes care of everything else once we understand that.
Is that the definition of wisdom in the West? In English language, that's how you define?
I thought you said the Buddhist definition.
No, not for definition.
Scratch.
So like
So I looked it up.
That's easy.
So I just figured I would Google it with my smartphone. So knowledge versus wisdom. This is what the internet says. So knowledge is composed of facts, information, and skills, whereas wisdom is composed of knowledge, experience, and good judgment. So knowledge gives the ability to identify whether some fact is true or false, whereas wisdom gives you the ability to discern whether some idea is right or wrong. Knowledge is acquisition of information and facts, whereas wisdom is application of acquired knowledge. And knowledge can be simply acquired through education, whereas wisdom cannot be simply acquired through learning.
Yeah, good judgment. That part kind of sums up good judgment.
I would say that intention has a big component to wisdom, is intentions.
I looked it up as well, and it says the soundness of an action or decision with regard to the application of experience, knowledge, and good judgment. And it seems to me I can acquire knowledge, lots of knowledge. In the application, I can apply my knowledge in how to hurt you. It is, and for me, it's the application of knowledge with compassion, which is something I don't know anything about, but I think that maybe that's the difference between wisdom and knowledge. For me, it's how I apply. I can apply knowledge to create a bomb, or I can apply it to feed people. And maybe it is in the application, and if I divide that with compassion, it becomes very different, maybe useful.
Yeah, very good. So now do we all agree that wisdom is ability to distinguish between positive and negative? Yeah. So now I was wondering again, like is there any, like how many kinds of wisdom? How many different kinds of wisdoms? Different kinds of wisdoms.
Why do they have to be kinds of wisdom?
Huh?
I thought that wisdom was just general.
So, Tujungi Sherab, in Buddhism, according to Buddhist philosophy, Tujungi Sherab means, tu means, you hear something. You hear something, then you develop wisdom or awareness or wisdom, you develop that. So then usually people use that for their own gain, pretty much. Wisdom is generated by hearing something, through discussion, hearing something. And that's the first, called Tujung Sherab. So then the second type of wisdom is Samjung Sherab. Then you think about, you thought about that. Whatever you heard, you thought about that. So that's a little bit better. Samjung Sherab. Then that wisdom, awareness produced by thinking, not just, just one time here, and then thinking about that, So then last wisdom, Gomjung Sherab, then the awareness that's produced by meditations. Meditation, deep meditation. That wisdom then liberates, frees, So then not just thought, you've been thinking about that again, till you reach to the aha moment. So then you say, then that's called Gomjung Sherab. So then, that kind of, like free, ourselves from the problem. So, so now maybe only a few minutes left. So the last questions now here. There's 3 questions. Can Buddhist monks and nuns have sex? Maybe in the past life. Maybe you don't know about life after this. But this life answers no. So in Tibetan, particularly Tibetan Buddhist traditions, once you take vows, this rest of your life, And but that doesn't mean you don't have choice. You have choice. You can give up, or you can stay, It's not like that when you join the monastery, then it's not like you going to the prison camp, You can let the monks disrobe, nuns disrobe, you see them quite often, so it's not particular in the Western, in the West, in the West. It's hard, it's not easy. So then now the second question, said that this question goes on. So can Buddhist monks nuns have sex and get married? Then some traditions, like Thailand, you can become monks. You can go to monastery, become monk. They say almost every man become monks in sometime in their life. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. So then come back. So. But there are some discussions taking place, but that discussion didn't get any support in Tibetan community, Buddhist congregations. So not one person can make decisions. When this kind of discussions, all the head of the monastery needs to agree to change. That's what Buddha, before he passed away, He said, any big decisions, then all the big monastery, head of the big monastery, they all come together, then discuss. Of course, now His Holiness Dalai Lama, he is very much, how I say, open-minded. He's thinking much, much bigger than our own culture. He's thinking, his mind is going way beyond like religion's belief, and he's very much thinking, like about based on the realities. So I think this subject did brought it up in discussions, and then probably His Holiness doesn't get much support from the head of the monastery, so then no further discussion is finished. So, so this is now a lifetime commitment. Then the second question is, what exactly is attachment? That's very interesting questions. If what we see is delusions, what is reality? Illusion or delusion? If what we see is a delusions, what's reality? So now please contribute a little bit here. What is attachment? What is attachment? And I think the third part of the question, if what we see is a delusions, what do you see as delusions? Now this is getting a little bit complicated here. Does it make sense? What we see is a delusions. So I don't understand. So anyway, if you understand.
What we see is a delusion. I'm sorry. That was obviously my question.
Is your question?
Yes. If what we see is a delusion,
what do you mean delusions?
Delusion. If what we see is delusions.
What is that?
Are delusions or an illusion?
Not real.
If it's not real, if it is a false perception, then what is reality in what is reality?
No, now this get a little bit complicated. Real, like the definition of real, this get a little bit complicated. So you don't say, okay, yeah, reality, like you get upset, you get angry, you get happy, you get hurt. This is not just delusion, it's real, right? It's real. So now, what is the reality? From the emptiness point of view, the reality is much, much deeper than general meaning of reality. It's like, reality based on 5 object of, like form, taste, smell, tactile, sound, based on those 5 desirable objects. So based on that, then generally speaking, real, unreal, I don't know what to say. So now then we'll move to the second question. What is exactly attachment? What is exactly attachment? Yeah, please say something. No pressure, but if you want to say something. What is exactly attachment? As I said, according to Buddhist philosophy, we study attachment, jealousy, each one of different definitions of wisdom. That's how you study in Buddhist philosophy. Everything's based on definitions. So I was wondering, what is exactly attachment? Yeah.
The reason I was asking, that's another question. The reason I was asking that is because there is one of our, prayers or tantras, whatever they're called, that says, allow me to detach from friends and everything else. And I'm saying to myself, really? How can I do this? How can I detach from, let's say, my friend here or a man that I love? It's if we detach, in my opinion, if I do not have a certain type of bonding, to me attachment is bonding, then I think that
internet. Internet. On the internet, what it says.
I think that then also we fall into a problem where we have no passion. When we become detached, we don't feel anymore. We don't have
No,
that connection that allows us to
that-
empathize.
Yeah, I understand. So that's like, that's not true. So that's not true. So I don't have any, no, so I'm not saying that, I'm free from attachment. Not at all. I probably have tons of attachments. So, but, based on the book, based on the book, so first just want to see what's in the internet. They have no meaning.
No, there is.
Attachment.
If you have an attachment to someone or something, you are fond of them or loyal to them. I mean, there's different forms of attachment, but I think that attachment in Buddhism is very different than the attachment of the, in terms of the American language is concerned.
Yeah, how American define attachment.
Yeah, attachment would be being loyal to someone or being bonded with like an infant or a toddler, a primary caregiver, a strong bond being vital for a child's normal behavior and social development.
Yeah, that's
an
true.
enduring emotional bond that develops between one adult and another in an intimate relationship, romantic attachment.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's very different than I think what we're saying in terms of Buddhism attachment. From what I've learned and what I've studied is like attachment is grasping and clinging in an unhealthy manner, so that, for example, if I'm attached to my fiance, right, and I'm so attached in a way that is suffocating and is very like I can't live with or without that person, right? And that person goes away from me and I'm completely miserable and I'm falling apart, then that's like unnecessary grasping and clinging and portraying my happiness on that individual or on that thing. That could be food, that could be clothing, that could be materialistic possession. So it's that unnecessary grasping and clinging. So I think in Buddhism, it's like not having that grasping and clinging. Obviously, you can love someone or love something, but without attachment, which is really, really hard.
Yeah,
Am I explaining that right?
It's not easy. Yeah.
I just like to say that from a Buddhist standpoint, it's my understanding that attachment is the exaggeration of the qualities of an object which makes it desirable. That it is an exaggeration which means that you no longer see that thing as it is, but you exaggerate it and it becomes desirable, which leads to clinging and attachment.
I think before you can go into attachment, you have to understand ignorance. And ignorance is the foundation of all our ignorance, meaning we think things are a certain way, and that's why we attach to them. There's a fundamental ignorance about how things exist, and the attachment comes because of that.
Yeah, namaste there, down, namaste. Yeah. Very good, yeah, wonderful.
The person who phrased the question, they were talking about being detached. I'm not sure what prayer she was looking at. The prayer that I'm used to reading says free of attachment, which is different than being detached. Being detached does have a negative connotation to it. But the prayer that we read almost every Sunday in here says free from attachment, which has a different connotation. It's you can still have friends. It's saying free from attachment to friends. You still have the friends, but not being, I think as Amanda was saying, clinging.
So the one example they use in some text, I don't remember which text, is like sitting in the wet leather pouch. What is the beginning? You can stretch, it's comfortable. Then, like when times goes by, then it's become dry. It's become tighter and tighter. So that's one example they use, and also another example they use, like drop of oil on the piece of paper. The beginning is just one drop, then it's so slowly hard to get out. So, you exaggerate, of course, according to emptiness point of view, there's not absolute beauty, it's all level, so there's not one beauty that everybody agrees, is the beauty, How is you say also, they're saying in English, beauty is the beholder of the.
Mind of the beholder.
Yeah, beauty is mind of the beholder. So that's not absolute beauty. So it's just in the level. So then, yeah. Then in the beginning is no problem. So then after that you impose something, you exaggerate something. It's not there, you know. So then becomes so. Then it becomes so tight, you know. So then the flexibilities that you lose. So then, you know, as I said, you know, not just people, you know, being attached to French fry from McDonald's. Then when so you have that. Then on the other hand, you have another attachment to want to climb Mount Everest. Mount Everest in Nepal. Then you go all the way up there. Then you not let to go the craving for French fry. So the French fry from McDonald's doesn't exist there at all. So then you go to some restaurants and you see the menu, they say, oh, French fry. Then you get so excited. Then you order one. It doesn't taste like French fry at all. It tastes something else, you know. So that like that not being flexible, you know. So then that do cause, so inconvenient. Not like, you know, any toothbrush that basically to clean your tooth, but doesn't satisfy. It has to be a very particular one. So then you run here, run there, you know, run. So like that, you know. So anyway, doesn't mean you should not love. Of course, you know, love is the foundation of our existence. We have to have love, you know. So, but clinging so tightly and thinking, oh, there should be forever, that goes against reality. Nothing is forever. Everything changes, you know. So everything changes. People grow and everything changes, you know. So then need a lot of knowledge, you know. So before you become to love someone, you have to understand the person has mind. That person's mind is not going to be same all the time. That person's body is going to change. The mind is going to change. Actions are going to change. You are going to change. Your body is going to change. We have to be aware of the change, impermanent. So then, probably that will probably help. The love will last longer, you know, if you have all this knowledge. So without that, you know, so then it leads to all kind of problems. Eventually, it will squeeze you. You know, it's got dried up, squeeze. Then you don't know how to get out. Get tighter and tighter. Okay, yeah. So now time is over. So there's something to do here. Yeah.
So I think it's very appropriate that this morning Geshe was talking about emptiness, because we come in on Sunday mornings and we say, well, here's Sunday morning teachings. Or we come on Monday nights to Discovering Buddhism, and we're coming to this Discovering Buddhism that exists from its own side. Or we come to introductory classes, and it's if they just exist, but they actually depend upon so many factors. And one of the most besides the fact that I can't speak, one of the most essential factors of that is the people who make these things happen. And so this morning we're going to take a few moments and thank many of the volunteers who help with the spiritual program here at Kadampa Center. And I got excited and left my list over here, I think. So we have with us today only one of our precious nuns, but she's very precious, Venerable Lamo, our chant master, who leads us in our prayers on Sunday morning. She leads Sunday morning meditation. She leads, she's the chant master for all our pujas. So Venerable Lamo, do come up and let Geshe thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll just mention that Venerable Chukyi helps a great deal with advice to me, and she'll help me find texts when I need them. And I know she also gives a lot of support to Geshe and Geshe Sangpo. And Venerable Kondo is also very supportive of the children's program, and she steps in a lot of ways and also supports Geshe Sangpo. Next is Robbie Watkins, director of the Kadampa Center for eons and eons. He's a discovering Buddhism teacher.
Thank you.
And he is he's just amazing in his willingness to step in at sometimes 5 minutes notice and help with anything, and always very cheerfully. And then if you've got the email that I'm going to be thanking you, why don't you kind of start gathering so we can do this kind of quickly. I don't see Steep Smith. She is also one of our Discovering Buddhism teachers and has been serving for a very long time. She also hosted Geshe in her house for many years. Don Brown, who's another Discovering Buddhism teacher. I don't see him today. It's January. The flu has felled a lot of us. Hemant Pandya is also, he taught in Meditation 101 for many years. And now he is starting out as a Discovering Buddhism teacher. And then I also want to thank Erin Sloan. She is the program assistant for Discovering Buddhism. And she also helps me with planning the spiritual programs. Jill Marie, you all know her as our center manager and administrator, but she is also teaches the Saturday meditation, First Saturday meditation and the Meditation 101 course.
I just want to say this is the gift their center is giving, prayer flags. You see here, prayer flags, the mini prayer flags. So that, according to Buddhist belief, so there's a lot of prayers have been written on that, and the color symbolizes 5 elements. So when you hang that, when the wind blows, it carries kind of message. Then the wind that touch living beings benefits. So that's I just want to explain. Yeah, thank you.
And then we have Gary Mickey, who is our Sunday morning program assistant, and he helps get the microphones around to you. And he also is just one of those folks who's willing to help in a lot of little ways.
Thank you for that.
David Mackless. David Mackless is our Meditation 101 teacher.
Thank you, David.
Joanna Smith, she's saying, what am I doing here? She was a program assistant for Discovering Buddhism for the last cycle. And even though we're thanking folks today for helping here at the center, she also was very instrumental in the last 2 Light of the Path retreats and deserves big thanks. Karen Mastriani is our, she teaches, leads Buddhism in a Nutshell for many years, and she is also our teacher driver coordinator. So Geshe gets here thanks to Karen's work. Elise Strevel is a Buddhism in a Nutshell leader. She's one of the people who hosts visiting teachers when they come, and she's also someone who's very helpful in so many ways. So.
Thank you.
Patrick McGinnity is our Holy Days coordinator, and he helps with all of that. And he helps with so many things, I can't even name them all. The altar, also helped with Light of the Path retreat, and he's just wonderful, always willing to be there guy. Susie Bohm is also she's a program assistant with on Sunday mornings, and she's also now working on the team that will coordinate visiting teachers.
She also coordinated Discovering Buddhism.
Oh, and she also helps with coordinating Discovering Buddhism. And of course, our wonderful media guys, Chris Baranski and Brian Dyer. They make it possible for us to hear the teachings here, and also to hear it streaming if you're not able to be here. Lee, don't be shy. Come up and come on.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Lee Clark helps. Yeah. Well, I could just in a lot of little ways. So come on up, Julia. Julia McCollum helping me to organize Dharma materials that are in the files. Very, very helpful. Susan Daniel, you also helped. Susan and Kim also helped with the Light of the Path retreat. Come and get your thank yous.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you for your card.
Oh, Mike Flaherty, you know you should be up in this line. Come on.
Thank you.
Mike, Mike is always willing to help out. He helps every Sunday with the meditation, Sunday morning meditation with Venerable Lamo. Becca Zuvich, come on up. Becca was also a big help with the Light of the Path retreat. And I think I'm just going to name the other people on the list who aren't here today because it's just good to name people and thank them even if they can't be here to hear it. So we have Sandy Carlson, who is a Buddhism in a Nutshell leader. Hetty Hollyfield, who often acts as a program assistant for our introductory classes. Steve Hale also acts as a program assistant for our introductory classes, and he also leads the newcomer question and answer every month and helps people get oriented when they're here for the first time. Linda Saw is also working on the team to coordinate visiting teachers. Patty Pandya is helping me a lot with organizing things. Same with Diane Meyer. Karen Edwards has also been very helpful. Joan Lacey and Joey Gooch. These are all people we want to thank, even if they're not here today to get our appreciation. Let's give them some applause also.
And Geshe is, of course, asking Donna to come forward because we couldn't do it without Donna, our spiritual program coordinator. And Donna.
Oh,
You want me to hold it? Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
One more thing.
Oh, okay.
Am I on? Okay, thank you. Okay, that was very inspiring. We forget how many people are behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, making everything happen here at Kadampa Center. Well, I know everybody's very excited that we're winding up our annual appeal. There's only 3 more days for the really serious professional procrastinators to take part, and you know who you are. Our goal is 177,000. We're at 172,000. And this will meet 70% of our budget for the coming year. In the past, that figure, we've only met 40% of the budget with the annual appeal, and we've gradually been increasing it thanks to everyone's generosity. We had a number of pledge campaigns that were very successful this year. We have a total so far of 201 supporters for the center for their donations. The one-time supporters met their goal of 81,000. The monthly supporters are currently at 91,000, and we want them to get to 96,000 over the next 3 days. We have 20 new monthly supporters, and 28 supporters from last year increased their pledge this year. And we have 33 new one-time supporters, and 18 from last year who increased their pledge. So there's 2.5 days left, so get on the train before it leaves the station. So we want to say a big thank you, and not only do we thank you, but we respect you. And so I'm going to introduce the Kadampa Center Ladies of Soul.
Dedication on page 246 in the Gold Prayer Book. 246. And it's on the back of the Kadampa Center prayer list if you have the white binder. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain a notion of happiness and joy by virtue of our merits. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled with the mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their ailments. Whatever diseases there are in the world, may they never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. For as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Om Taritu Taritu Re Soha. 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 Om Taritu Taritu Re Soha.